Hello dear viewers and welcome back to our channel. Today we step through the storied gates of Buckingham Palace and into the heart of two of the most wrenching, earth-shattering dramas ever to strike the British monarchy, tales of love and duty in fierce conflict, of crowns surrendered and identities reborn. These are not dry chronicles of dates and decrees, but living sagas of hearts pushed to their limits by the demands of power. Imagine London in the summer of 1936. The empire still arcs from Canada to India, and in the palace's grand rooms courtiers prepare for another royal event. Edward, the Prince of Wales turned king, is a figure of charisma and contradiction, a monarch by birth, a rebel by spirit. He travels constantly, from dazzling Paris soirees to long chats on the decks of ocean liners, yet his restlessness only deepens when he encounters Wallis Simpson, an American twice-divorced socialite with a laugh that seems to echo inside his soul. Their romance ignites in secret telegrams and clandestine yacht excursions across the Channel. Court whisperers name her Mrs. Simpson, tabloids fan the flames, and ministers grow alarmed. The Church of England, led by the monarch, recoils at the thought of her as queen. Prime Minister Baldwin delivers an ultimatum that roars through Whitehall: Edward must choose Wallis or the crown. On December 10, 1936, Edward strides into a radio booth and, with his voice wavering between sorrow and defiance, admits the truth of his heart to millions: I have found it impossible to carry the heavy burden of responsibility without the help and support of the woman I love. Never before had a king confessed such vulnerability. The airwaves crackle with stunned silence. The next morning, Edward signs the instrument of abdication, relinquishing the most powerful throne in the world. He becomes Duke of Windsor, Wallis his Duchess, yet she is never styled Her Royal Highness, a deliberate cut from the family that once embraced him. Exile transforms them both. At their private wedding in France in June 1937, no British royals stand witness. They wander the rose-lined paths of Château de Cande, imagining a life free of protocol, but find themselves haunted by what they left behind. Edward accepts the post of Governor-General of the Bahamas, trading London's grey skies for coral-hued sunsets. There, formal parades and garden parties offer fleeting meaning, while news of the blitz-scarred streets of London arrives like distant thunder. He writes letters tinged with guilt and longing, torn between relief and regret for abandoning his country in its darkest hour. Rumors swirl: did he sympathize with fascist regimes? Did his abdication embolden Hitler? Though never proven, these whispers stain his legacy, melding personal scandal with the turbulent sweep of global history. Meanwhile, George VI, once a reluctant heir with a stammer, rises to the occasion, guiding Britain through war with stoic resolve. His daughter, Elizabeth, ascends after him to become one of the longest-reigning monarchs. Yet the question Edward posed, can personal happiness coexist with royal duty, lingers in every palace corridor. It speaks to the core of an institution built on sacrifice and service. Now fast forward to January 8, 2020, when another seismic tremor shakes the monarchy in a world transformed by social media and non-stop news cycles. Prince Harry, the beloved younger son of Charles and Diana, and Meghan Markle, an American actress and humanitarian, announce they will step back as senior working royals. The announcement, blurted out in a joint statement that reverberates around the globe, sparks fervent debate. Tabloids dub it Megxit, scoffing at the echo of Edward's defiance, yet the stakes are different. Harry remains fifth in line to the throne. There is no constitutional crisis. But tradition itself trembles. He and Meghan seek financial independence, privacy, and the freedom to shape their own philanthropic path without the glare of paparazzi flashes. A weekend summit at Sandringham follows, fraught with tense negotiations. The Queen, Harry, William, Charles, and palace advisors weigh compromise. Harry and Meghan agree to relinquish official duties, repay taxpayers for refurbishing their UK home, and step away from palace life. In turn, they retain their titles and positions in the succession. It is an arrangement unthinkable in 1936, proof that an ancient institution can bend, if only slightly, to modern will. Today, the Duke and Duchess live in California, founding the Archwell Foundation, producing documentaries and podcasts, and advocating for mental health services, gender equality, and racial justice. Every Netflix special or interview is parsed as both personal reinvention and royal test case. They prove that royals, too, yearn for authenticity, yet are bound by the weight of legacy. Critics cry sellout while supporters praise their candor. Their story is a mirror reflecting a society grappling with privacy, identity, and the meaning of service in an age of celebrity. Put Edward's abdication and Harry's retreat side by side, and a persistent tension emerges, the clash between human desire and institutional obligation. Edward's sacrifice shattered centuries of protocol, revealing a sovereign who prized love over duty at a time when tradition was absolute. Harry and Meghan's journey tests monarchy's capacity for evolution in an era when the line between public and private is almost non-existent. Edward lost his crown but won personal freedom. Harry relinquished comfort to claim autonomy, while remaining in the line of succession. Both paid steep psychological prices: exile in one form or another, fractured family ties, press vilification, and both left indelible marks on the crown's narrative. Beyond the individuals, their stories ignited waves of public conversation. In Edward's day, Fleet Street screamed royal scandal, and tea-shop patrons in pubs from London to Cape Town debated loyalty and love. Polls later revealed a nation split evenly, half decrying the abdication as constitutional rupture, half sympathizing with a king's search for personal fulfillment. Today, Instagram feeds overflow with hashtags, university forums host debates, and documentaries trace a lineage of choices from Edward to Harry, probing how far monarchy can and should bend. Palace advisors, ever watchful, monitor each ripple in public opinion. Focus groups recommend mental health support for working royals, new channels for community charities, and clearer communication strategies. Constitutional scholars ponder whether Edward's abdication and Harry's partial retreat might inform future succession laws and the monarchy's place in democracy. Psychologists study the personal toll. Edward's letters reveal insomnia and regret. Harry speaks openly of therapy sessions to confront grief and purpose. Both narratives underline a paradox of power that isolates its holder even as it confers unmatched privilege. Still, hope emerges in small gestures. King Charles III quietly awards youth achievement medals, echoing Edward's and Harry's concern for young people. New palace initiatives offer mentoring programs, pilot mental health clinics, and grant schemes for grassroots innovators, signs that lessons have been learned. Monarchy's survival depends on its ability to honor personal authenticity without erasing the mystique that gives it meaning. So as we peer behind the palace gates and witness the next chapter, one truth stands out: history is not only written by protocol and pageantry, but by the personal revolutions of those who wear the crown. Edward VIII's heartfelt abdication and Harry's courageous retreat each forced the institution to confront its own humanity. Their choices remind us that no crown can outrun the pulse of human desire or silence the call of personal truth. And perhaps the greatest drama yet to unfold is the one still in motion, an ongoing negotiation between tradition and transformation, duty and desire. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the human heart of monarchy. If these stories moved you, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more explorations of the hidden dramas behind history's grandest institutions. Until next time, keep your hearts open and your curiosity alive, because every crown hides a story waiting to be told.